Hello, and welcome to Technocracy Zero Sum, Episode 8, Trusting the Algorithm. I am your storyteller, Jen, and excited to be back. Kelly counted me down wrong, or weird. Not wrong, but just weird. So I was confused as we came into this. But, here we are. I'm excited because, well, we'll see where this goes. It could go somewhere very strange. It might not, but all right. Well, passing it over to you, Kelly. How you doing?
Hi, everybody. I'm Kelly. I use he and him as my pronouns, and so does my character, Nolan Westcroft, who is a former spy turned therapist turned whatever he is now. We're both doing fine. I'm doing probably a little better than him, but I've already ran a game today set in the Feywild, so I am super discombobulated, which is basically just method acting for Nolan.
Haha. Fantastic. And moving over to Christine, Chibi Christine.
Hello, I am Christine, or Chibi Sophia. I use she, her pronouns, and tonight I will be playing Sophia Smith, our progenitor, who is of the pharmacopoeist damage control, i.e. monster hunter background, subtype, whatever you want to call it, really.
Methodology.
And yes, I am a chibi today because I am sore and sitting down I'd get stiff and sore pretty quick. So instead, my chair is really reclined out. All the players can see me, but nobody else gets to because you get a wonderful view of my floor otherwise.
Yeah, I had the thought that as much as I'm glad that we can do like the chibi for you and whatnot, it almost seems like it should be either Tegan or Heather with a chibi, just like But I do love the chibis. It's great. They're great.
They're so
So
good.
good. So good. Down to Amy, speaking of Heather.
Hi, I am Amy. My pronouns are she, her, they, them, and I am playing Heather Anderson, the void engineer of the Earth Frontier Division. And she has never made a mistake in her life. No, her recent actions are definitely not going to bite them in the ass.
I mean, speaking of actions biting them in the ass, hi Tegan. Hi Robin.
What? What's biting in the ass? Nah, it's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. We didn't talk to a weird extra-dimensional being. It's fine. Everything is okay. But yes, I am Robin. I use she, her pronouns. So does Tegan. Our, look at my character sheet. Iteration X biomechanic. And you may notice that Robin is not wearing a wig, and you would have noticed during Arcos that halfway through Dana also lost her hair because my head is apparently very prone to squishable feelings today, so any sort of pressure on my head is just like extreme brain fog and pain. So, I'm going for brown locks today because, yeah, I would like to be able to play game.
Yes, and we would also like you to be able to play game, particularly with some of the stuff I have in here. Yeah. Oh, and before I forget, because I had this note, I might forget to add this in at the end, so I'm going to state it now, that you have +1 XP that random bot forever ago.
Oh, right.
Nice. Thanks, random.
So I'm putting a note there that you have that. I may forget by the end of game to add it on. So just if you want clarification, ask me at that point. But
Yeah,
figure out. Say that now. I also have a hurt them more from someone, which is exciting. Can't remember who gave me that, but
Probably Chris.
probably, yeah,
Often
probably.
Chris.
Excellent. So yes, it's been a bit. I've had to refresh my memory on what I've put these people through. So I am happy to to do a recap for everyone. I'm enjoying some of the notes that are being put into our personal chat, like
Woohoo.
Kibo coming back with bringing some not friends, which he did. He did do that. But
My last
bef-
notes
Right.
in the
Right, yeah.
thing is Eater of Souls mentioned, maybe associated with Cloud of Darkness, Corpse Closet, Sophia got a big fuck off energy gun and a vape. And those are my notes for September.
I was incredibly thrilled that I got to remind you of the corpse closet last game
Corpse
because
closet.
all of us had forgotten.
It is now a note all of its own. It even has its own bullet point, and all that bullet point is Corpse Closet.
Fantastic.
Oh, that's right.
Good,
I made a
good.
T-shirt for that.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
On
Yeah, I
TeePublic.
did. Yep.
Note for Sophia has a secret coffee stash, rediscovered the corpse closet, shoved the hit mark in the closet.
With all the other corpses.
Yep.
Where else are you gonna
Other
keep 'em?
things that happened last episode, because this was the second episode fully in the Ballador Pleasure Dome. And there was one before that was like, that's where you arrived there, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. But Sophia had been on her own for a little bit and was working on, well, actually brought Mateo's body into the Pleasure Dome and went, fix him, and then like walked off. And was dealing with a bunch of stuff on the ship and was having fun sneaking up on the people who were bringing supplies and stuff like that.
And played them
w-
all with like old-fashioned alarm systems.
Yep,
That
100%.
no technocrat or even like tradition mage would really look for because it's so simple.
Yeah. And I just, in our private chat, everybody's remembering what happened, and it's like, oh yeah, oh right, that thing. Heather and Tegan, you were with Mateo, and at some point during game, I can't remember if it was at the end of the one before. I think it was at the end of the one before and kind of into this one. Realized that he may not have a soul or an avatar really anymore.
Yeah.
So he's kind of depressed about that. Then you found this extra dimensional entity in a cage, who said that she was from Earth a long time ago and was Mariana's lover until Mariana locked her in the cage. And then you were going to try and release her. But also you thought she was lying
We
to
did.
you. Yeah. It was a good time.
Then Heather saw like weird gray spectral stuff. It was fine.
Yeah, it was fine. And all this time Nolan was in a Nephandic call.
As you do.
As you do. As you do. After having your secant, well, your mediation, epiphany, whatever. I think epiphany is awakening. I think
Think so.
Technocracy name thing's weird, but seeking, basically seeking. Or eureka moment, really, except it was weirder than you're used to. Let's put it that way. And then there were like zombies and stuff, and everybody kind of got back to the ship, and then you had to get Nolan back to the ship. And Tegan, you did a bunch of data stuff.
Yup,
And-
I just certainly did.
And just built up a bunch of paradox. Which is fine. And you and yeah, there was the Eater of Souls demanding a sacrifice, which, that's fine. No problem there whatsoever. I love these notes, but it's also really hard to read them and like keep being like, what happened? And yeah, brought Nolan back onto the ship, and then as you were trying to leave, Tegan zapped everyone who was climbing onto the ship and trying to stop you. And you guys vanished. And that's where we left game 2 months ago.
Right. Just
Gosh.
casually paradox going off. That's fine.
Yeah. Definitely fine. Everything is fine. And that brings us to where we are now. We're going to start with Tegan.
It's fine.
Tegan, you open your eyes and you're standing in front of this set of double doors that is very familiar. And off to one side, you see Nell. Now, I don't know if Robin remembers Nell, but Nell is a higher-ranking member of the Iteration X, who in Game 1 congratulated you on your promotion and was going to invite you into the Hitmark program before you had to go do the nice little submarine trip.
Yes, I also, my character for Strixhaven name is Nell, so I was like, she's Nolan Druid.
Yeah, there we go.
But yes,
I mean,
yes.
who knows? Who knows?
Who knows? She could, what's her second life? It's fine.
But Nell is standing there, and you get that sensation of deja vu, of you've been in this moment before. But then Nell opens her mouth, and instead of saying the words you expect her to say, the words that she wanted to congratulate you on your promotion, you hear this sort of deeper, more masculine voice come out of her mouth, and it just asks, "Is this where you want to be?"
Where am I?
Home. Back home.
I mean, yes, this is, I want to be back home, like that's what we're trying to get. But I'm here with people, like I don't want to just leave them. I don't want to, what?
I'm here to tell you that your home is in danger. And we need to talk. Do you agree to talk?
Okay. Yes.
Good. And the scene around you kind of melts away until you're left with this pair of double doors and a rocky, barren ground and space. Just open, empty space. You can breathe. You're absolutely fine. It takes you a second to be like, oh, no, I can breathe. Good.
Yep.
I'm not immediately decompressing and dying. Excellent.
Great. Love that for me.
Right? Yep. And Nella is gone. There's no one around you at first, or at least when you first look around. There's no one around you. But there is space and this barren ground and this set of double doors. Inexplicably.
Huh.
from behind you comes that masculine voice. I went to a lot of trouble to get you here.
Do I get to know my host?
Do you turn around?
Yes.
You see an old man in a white suit, impossibly creased. Just both his suit and his body. He's leaning on a cane, and he takes a step towards you and just kind of gestures out towards the barren landscape. And a little bench appears. Will you sit and talk with me?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I have anything better to do in this time. Yeah, let's chat since you went to all this trouble. Very warily looking around, but Tegan will go and she'll first reach down and touch the bench to make sure it's an actual physical thing, because she's definitely in this what kind of VR matrix shit am I in right now? So she's definitely making sure this is real before she goes and sits down and makes a fool of herself.
100%. It is 100% real. Solid. You hold it for a second and you can feel it's solid wood. It's one of those park benches that's very very simple. Couple planks of wood, but a couple metal bars, but it's real and solid.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll sit next to you. He sits on one end of the bench and kind of stares out into the black, starry expanse. And he looks at you and you feel the intensity of his gaze, the weight of him, of his presence. You've been being reckless with your abilities. I had to pay a favor to Igtukra to get you here. You should be glad I did.
Thank you.
You're not even fully aware of the dangers you could have been in, are you?
Can you enlighten me?
You believe in science, correct?
I mean, I don't believe in science. Science is a proven fact. It's evidence-based. I mean, I guess I believe in it. I believe in the scientific method and due process and research and double blinds, I guess. I guess that's a belief.
And you believe that those who consider themselves to wield magic, those who rewrite the fabric of reality, those are reality deviants, correct?
Yes.
Normally, I don't... Normally, talking with you and those who think like you is an exercise in frustration, but it is necessary. Out here, out past the horizon, no one believes in your science.
So I'm the reality deviant now.
Out here. I'm not saying either is right or incorrect, but you risk much by not being careful. And if I did not have reason to pull you from Iktukra's grasp, you might be at the center of a black hole right now.
Ah. Okay.
So, I have no desire to hurt you. My favor with Iktukra is nothing for you to concern yourself with. Your debt has been paid. And in return, I ask for this conversation.
Okay.
I normally will show myself to reckless mages, reckless reality deviants, when they manipulate and mishandle the flow of time. However, I'm aware that this is not your purview. But I have seen that reality is coming to a crossroads. And I believe you and your companions may be able to skew it in a particular direction, should you believe me.
I will say this, that even my extensive training with the Technocracy and the absolute unbelievable things we have experienced the past week, 2 weeks, I don't even know how time is passing, where we are. I will say I'm inclined to believe a lot more than I would have before this experience. So I fully believe you. I don't know what to believe or not to believe. It's all trying not to think that this is a simulation of some sort, but I do not think that I am that creative to put myself in a simulation like this. And if it's the Technocracy's doing, they're doing a very damn good job, which we are flawed. So I cannot see any error in this code. Therefore, it must be the impossible. However, what's the saying? About the impossible and how improbable.
When you have eliminated the impossible, what's left is the probable.
Is the truth, however improbable. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what can we do to skew reality in the right direction? Is what you're asking us?
I don't have the answers. There are far too many timelines and possibilities. It would quite possibly melt your brain. And I mean that literally. However, I believe you must make it back to Earth, and you must figure out what is behind the shifting changes in your union, because that is where I believe the danger is coming from.
Okay.
I am not making promises that everything will be saved, but I believe it can be saved.
Okay. This is just like... This is... This is just like Endgame. God damn it. There's one where we win, right? Like, there's so many timelines. Oh, okay. I've always wanted to be a superhero in a super movie. I did not think I'd get this like that. Okay. Get to Earth. Figure out who's behind the bad shit and our own stuff. Okay. No pressure. We still need to figure out how to get back to Earth. Do you know how? Any idea how we could do that? At least?
I offer you these interesting points of fact. Once there was a mage, a reality deviant, truly, who stood upon this very rock. He stood tall and wished for immortality. You are a scientist. Follow your instincts, question everything, and test hypotheses. And I would start with questioning why you are able to use the science you currently are very familiar with using when you are nowhere near Earth. To do any more would jeopardize the timeline. And so I must bid you adieu. And he is going to stand up and start walking away.
Mm-hmm. Do you regret wishing for immortality?
I have always been immortal. No, it was a different reality deviant.
Okay.
And as he walks off, the kind of blackness of a space amongst the stars kind of reaches out and envelops him. And he's gone. The bench is still there, and the double doors are still there, and so are you.
Tegan's just gonna, like, look around for a second and be like, did he really just strand me? Okay. Tegan's gonna open the double doors.
Fantastic. You open the double doors and you walk into this large circular central gallery. There's, like, if you look up, there's several stories above you, skylights, it's giant windows. There's tons of daylight in here. You are momentarily blinded as you kind of walk through, but everyone else is standing right there. All of you have opened your eyes in this place. And Tegan walks through a set of doors. You can see many, many columns, endless shelves. Very lovely in its way.
So, did anyone see where we parked the ship?
Is this a...
I
What
feel
is
like
this?
the important question is, where are we?
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Yeah, where are we? Tegan's gonna open her phone and open up Google Maps. See if that gives us any GPS.
You open up Google Maps and you know how sometimes your GPS will kind of go wonky. Maybe not your GPS, but you've heard stories, you've seen pictures on the internet of, like, the Uber driver who's driving through the ocean.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's just blinking. Not in an ocean, but definitely in a blank space.
Okay. All right. Well, still not home.
Uh-huh.
And I will point out that knowing where we are seems less relevant than knowing how to leave.
Were we just on the ship?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Did I know? None of you guys had a chit chat with an old man on a bench, right?
Sure did not. Why?
Did you
Are you
unlock
hallucinating now?
Did you unlock a memory of childhood abuse? I can help you work through that.
No. I had a chat
Did
with
you take any of
them.
Nolan's drugs and hallucinate?
I wish I
on.
was.
Nope. No, it's all still here. We're good.
Yeah, no. If Tegan goes back to the double doors and opens them, there's still rock earth?
Oh
Outside?
no, of course not.
Right. No, of
No,
course not.
it opens out to the outside where there's, like, a pathway. I will note, as you look outside, you realize that you haven't seen any people, either inside or outside, but you notice it when you look outside because you're like, oh, there's also no one out there.
Wait, is that the outside? Like
Yep.
the outside?
Like space?
Or is it space?
Like it's pathways and some, like, grass and just general pretty landscaping.
So
So,
we are
You were
in some
talking with an
sort
old
of
guy on a
bubble.
bench. Was it a very
Yeah.
weird discussion?
There are always weird discussions when you talk to an old guy on a bench. They're always weird.
You could say that. I may have talked with God.
More likely
Highly
some sort of
unlikely.
anomalous entity.
I love watching Jen's reaction there. It's great.
But did he look like Morgan Freeman?
No, he was white.
So definitely
very-
not God then.
Wait, did he
Well,
look like
and not
George
God,
Burns?
just taking a impression of what God would look like.
I just meant a god of some sort, maybe the god. Apparently he saved me from being teleported to a black hole in, some sort of flashback for using science.
Why would you teleport us into a black hole? That doesn't make any sense.
And not you guys, me specifically, for using science.
Oh.
That doesn't make any sense.
Did you say thank
It
you?
does not. I did. I
good.
said
That-
thank you.
I mean, when someone doesn't let you get teleported into a black hole, generally, I think that a thank you is in order.
Yeah, do any
This
of
is
you
true.
know any
I'm so sleepy.
reality deviant lore or anything? Do you know the name Atukra?
Do I know the name of Tukra, Jen?
Do I know the name of Tukra?
Please roll me some dice.
What
I'm
would you
assuming
like?
Heather does
Would this
not.
be Esoterica Reality Deviants?
Yep, it would.
With int or wit?
Whichever is better for you.
Wits. Does one step ahead count as a specialty?
Sure, why not?
Woohoo! All right, first roll of my new dice. My
All right, here we
amethyst
go.
D10s from Bookworm,
Bookworm.
correct?
Ooh, nice. We are going to say difficulty 7.
Okay. All right. Well, that's 2 10s to begin with.
Oh yeah, there it is.
And
Yeah.
7,
Yep. Happy
and
birthday, Christine.
8,
Have
and
some
all the
10s.
goblins.
Just all the 10s.
Right, just all the 10s in the
All the
world.
10s, because you're a 10.
So that's 8 successes.
Holy shit.
Fuck!
She said difficulty 7. I
I
counted
think
out what
I
I
deserve
got.
something for buying those for her.
I got 2 7s, 2 8s, 2 9s, and 2 10s.
You rerolled the 10s?
Yeah, that's how I got the second 2
Wow.
8s.
Nice.
These are
one
very
second.
shiny math rocks. They're very heavy and clacky too, and I'm trying to be careful so I don't chip them.
Yeah, don't use them in the skeleton.
No, they are being used in the super padded bin. And I'm trying not to clack them together when I roll them. Only with D10s, Brandon. Only with D10s.
So you are strangely familiar with the idea of what reality deviants tend to call spirits, what void engineers call extra dimensional entities, but specifically you know that occasionally these entities will show up either after like the mad ones pass through and you have to do cleanup on them. So every so often there will be some, like, you never have actually dealt with them yourself, but you are aware of stories and all of that about these like entities that show up when this backlash happens. And Igtukra specifically is one you think is related to I'm trying to translate this from Mage into Technocracy and it's hard. You think it's related to like the general earthly forces, so electricity, gravity, and stuff like that. And while you aren't aware of it ever coming to Earth or and you've never had to deal with it yourself, you have heard it's a particularly nasty one. So for the translation into Mage, in case you want to try yourself, it's a forces paradox spirit that will put people into the center of black holes if they fuck up enough.
Yay!
I have heard of that one. From what I understand, their beliefs at least is that it is not one to mess with very much. It's all about what they consider to be forces. So electricity, geothermal heat,
Huh. Okay.
fire, water,
Yes.
that sort of thing.
Mm.
Hmm.
So, you know how we use science and we cut down reality deviants for perverting reality?
Yes.
So out here, we're the reality deviants,
Mm-hmm.
and when we use science, they don't like it.
Uh-huh.
Which is why I got teleported almost into a black hole. But then this old man, which I forgot to get his name for, that was really, really rude of me. He apparently made a deal and grabbed me for this conversation where, apparently reality is at coming to a crossroads and we need to save it.
What exactly does
Did he make a
coming to
suggestion of
crossroads
how?
mean?
Sorry, I'm gonna take these one at a time because I'm still focusing. I'll address you first, Sophia, and then I'm gonna need you to say that again, Heather. So he said that we need to go back to Earth. It's very important we get home. And we need
Yes.
to figure out what is going on, who is behind the shifting changes in our union. So the Technocracy is up to something bad, apparently, that is, you know, gonna mess with reality as we know it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Nolan?
I don't want to cut in line. You still have someone else.
Okay, Heather, what was your question?
Oh, did he explain what a crossroads of reality meant?
Nope, he said that he did the whole classic, I can only tell you so much, I'm going to speak in riddles, and I can't tell you more for fear of...
The flux capacitor.
Bad.
So, why do we think that
I-
a crossroads of reality is a bad thing?
It counts as 2 questions.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Nolan.
Why is your hair brown?
What?
Your hair is brown.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
the
it-
thing is, I thought it was just sort of a...
Yeah, it was like purple. It was like a nice, cool purple color, and now it's...
Uh,
Are you a natural
Hello.
brunette? I thought you were naturally purple.
I'm not... Oh,
I
what
think there are more
the...
important things to worry about than her hair color.
I just
Oh.
assumed it was a computer thing and she could change it at will.
Really? That would be really cool. Like fiber optics? I'd hate to get one of those. You ever had a hair splinter? Can you imagine one of those with fiber optics?
That sounds terrible. I'm not sure about
I
that.
would expect that you wouldn't get like the pieces coming off that often because they would be stronger.
I mean, maybe, but come on. Let's just... It depends. Is it American made? Because if it was like a
I
hair
don't know.
weave from
You can
Japan
wear
or
your
Korea,
pops
it'll
from.
stick. But I just don't trust American made like science technology. Like at least not government. Is that government hair?
No, but I should work on that. I mean, I guess for someone that wanted to save my life, I trust them, kind of. Also, I don't know what to believe. He was talking about how a reality deviant stood on this rock earlier
rock?
and wished for immortality. I was on a rock in space. It was weird.
There are a lot of rocks in space.
Are we still on that rock in space? Did we just sort of
I-
like shift?
Is it a really big rock?
Well, I
It
mean, are
was.
you sure that
I
he
walked-
actually saved
I
you?
walked through the double
Or just
doors.
told you he saved you?
I mean, I guess I...
Did he try to sell you real estate in Florida?
No, he did not
I'm
offer
not
me a
saying no, you can't
timeshare.
trust them.
Okay. Well, that's something.
I'm gonna go look out that window and try and see if there's stars.
See if there's a rock.
Well, I figure we're on one. It's probably just a really big one.
Everything in
Earth's a really
space
big
is a rock or a gas
Exactly.
or a gassy rock.
So I'm gonna go look at that.
Also,
And
he
Heather's
told
gonna
us-
veer over.
Rock
To
gas.
question everything, test hypotheses, and think about how we are so far from Earth and still able to use science when this area does not want us to use science. So, you
It
know.
probably just doesn't include in that we're doing science yet.
Well, I mean, the infirmary is shielded.
Speaking of, where's the ship?
We're not
They're
on the
looking out
ship,
the window.
though.
Wait, what happened to the ship?
This
My
is
stuff was
true.
there.
I did preset some stuff. I think I probably still have it on me. She's gonna start patting her pockets.
What do I have on me?
Yeah. Yep, basically, up to a point, so choose wisely, you have a variety of the usual things you might have on you, or the stuff you had on you at the end of the episode.
I think the most important question is, do I still have the big fuck off energy gun?
Yeah.
Sweet. That's the most important question, obviously.
It is. Absolutely.
So, Heather has gone over to look at the door, out the door and out the windows. What does she see? Like, if she looks up at the sky?
Up at the sky, it's a blue sky, sunny day. Not really many clouds in the sky. When you look kind of out into just general, if you just generally look around, you see, some trees, some landscaping. It all looks pretty well kept up.
How artificial does it look in terms of well kept up and maintained?
From a distance, it definitely looks real. In order to find out if it's more artificial, you'll have to go closer and inspect it closer.
Oh, absolutely. Heather's gonna step outside and touch some grass.
Cool. Grass feels real.
Okay.
Interesting.
So,
and there's
what-
dirt underneath it, not like
Yeah, there's dirt.
synthetic terrain.
Yep, you're standing on
feels
like some
really-
stones.
Okay. And as far as the sky looks, there's not like any little cracks or flickers that might imply that this is a virtual sky that we're looking at.
Give me a. I really should have pulled up a character sheet. Perception E or investigation E type check.
All right. So, what do we have on us in terms of supplies?
So
I have
perception or intelligence, and I have investigation. 2 dots in investigation.
If you're looking like closely and specifically trying to figure something out, I'll say investigation.
And would be intelligence or perception?
Intelligence. Yeah.
Okay. I'm guessing my creative specialization does not apply here.
Correct. But you are at a difficulty of 5.
Okay.
Does anyone have like a ball or?
Oh, yeah. I did. Yeah, hold on, right here. Here you go.
That's
Great.
6 successes.
Yeah, you don't see any
Oh.
sort of cracks or anything,
We have 2.
any flickers or any little like none of those bugs hitting the electric bug zapper sort of, none of that.
All right, so it looks real, and the sky looks real.
Hold on.
and
Tegan's
not
gonna
like
take a
protection.
ball from Nolan, and then she's going to use her. She's just gonna look at it, and then she's gonna just throw it up in the air, and just watch it fall and see if it has the same gravity.
Cool. Why don't you give me a like strength and athletics or something just to see how high you toss it, kind of
Okay.
thing.
Oh, that was
Difficulty
my-
6.
If that doesn't come back, it was my thinking ball.
Oh no.
You owe me a new thinking ball.
I don't. But so I rolled 3 successes, but then I have 2 ones, so that's 1 success.
Huzzah! Yeah, you throw it up. It goes, a little ways. You don't toss it super hard, but it goes up, comes back down. You catch it.
Doesn't seem off for gravity at all. Like,
No, not that you can tell.
okay, I guess we're wherever we are, gravity is similar to Earth. And not weird.
So far, the
All right,
ground seems real,
There's
and
no
the plants seem
people.
real. And surprisingly well maintained, so either there's robots manning it or there's people here manning it.
Yeah.
You still need the ball?
No, it's just testing gravity.
Oh, okay. Can I have it back?
Yeah, of course. Tegan will hand the ball back to Nolan.
Thanks.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
Okay. Got a shark notepad.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a Sharpie and a clicky pen.
Mm-hmm.
I've got
Ooh.
drugs. I've got drugs in liquid form. I've got drugs. I've got zip ties. 2 flashlights.
To go with the drugs.
Yeah, before or after, yeah.
If someone's having a bad
I've got an
trip.
Allen key.
What about a Frank key?
Frankly, I'm not sure. I've got a Sharpie. No, I've got a highlighter. I've got a Band-Aid. I've got a business card. I don't remember that one. I've got, this is like half a deck of cards. That's not useful. I've got a face mask, so we can be COVID safe.
Do you think they have that here?
Space COVID?
I hope not. That sounds really unpleasant.
Space fed.
Ooh,
You
I've
know
got a
what?
yellow Sharpie. These things are not good for anything.
Don't
they double as highlighters?
Yeah.
No, they really don't. Try it. Here. Pass it over.
Sure. Another will take the yellow Sharpie and we'll take a look at it and we'll
Oh, and an
consider
eyeglass
its
repair kit.
potential uses.
Heather, as you kind of take the Sharpie and you're like, oh, hey, I'm going to play with this for a second. You also go, oh, hey, my goggles are on, like, the top of my head. And I was using them.
Goggles
So
down.
maybe I'll just, yeah. You pull them down, and as you blink and kind of clear your vision a bit, it looks like the duration on your program has almost run out, so right at the very end of it. But you finally do see a couple of those flickers that you had been looking for.
There it is.
Nice.
And just a little bit of what spheres do you have?
Oh boy. She's got data, dimensional science, entropy, forces, matter, and prime.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you just see like some weird dimensional science anomalous flickering. And then it
Where's that
peters out.
flickering? Yeah. Well, that doesn't seem like it belongs.
What? You f-
Flickering. Program just ended though.
Oh.
Post flickering?
We're probably on some sort of space colony.
Huh.
Or in a
Not-
dimensional science pocket or something.
Huh.
Huh.
What are you doing?
Me?
Yeah,
Oh.
with a zip tie.
Well, we need
Oh, I
to
don't
find a
know.
way off.
I just
Do
was
we want to-
remembering that this is how we used to incapacitate people. You get 2 zip ties like this and make a loop, and then you put their thumbs behind their back and cinch their thumbs together. So the only way they can really get out is by dislocating their thumbs. It's really unpleasant. I just forgot we used to do that. Yeah.
What prompted that memory?
I had zip ties. I haven't had zip ties in a while. I don't know why they were... Oh, they were in the jacket's pocket. That makes sense. I haven't worn this jacket in a while. And that also means... Oh, I've also got this. And he'll pull out a 9mm. Look at that. It was still in the spot. I'll put it back.
For some reason, I feel distinctly uncomfortable with Nolan holding a gun.
Yeah, me too.
That's
Hmm?
Nolan,
Why?
though. I don't know why. I
Oh, don't
know.
worry. I haven't fired in years.
That makes me less
Sophia's just
comfortable.
kind of contemplating her thumbs at this point and thinking, how would that work? They're basically the same width all the way along. Trying to think about it a bit and kind of like contemplate how well it would actually work.
So,
Fair enough.
do we want to start looking for a way out? I'm guessing. Maybe find people or not. Or try and reach the end of the programming if this is a hallucination.
Oh, I don't think it's hallucination. I just think we're somewhere else.
Okay. So,
And if there's nobody here, then
should go find a way
probably
off.
find the ship quickly so
yeah.
that we can not starve to death.
Yeah.
Nobody has like the
'Cause we're still
fob
not
floor,
home.
right? So you could be like, boop, boop.
I
don't think
mean-
those exist.
I'm still. Oh, yeah. Speaking of things that you had up, Jen.
Yeah.
I forget how long. I think it was a day worth. I had the connection to the ship, so I could easily bamf back. I don't know if that's gone
Yeah.
now with the with my fun paradox fun.
Give me perception and awareness. Difficulty of 6.
Okay. That's 1 success.
You can feel that connection is, you think, still active, but it feels like it ends in a dead end that is not the ship.
Ah. Cool. That's great. Something's either blocking me from the ship and connecting to it, or the ship is out of range. And I'm no longer feeling it. It's basically like, when you see and you just see a wall, but you feel like you know what's on the other side of that wall. It's kind of what I'm getting for the ship.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's probably not a great sign.
Okay. Do you want me to find it?
I mean, sure, go ahead.
Okay, do me a favor. Don't let me die. None of you.
Okay.
All right, for oral use only, huh? Well, this is gonna suck. He's gonna sit down
Wait.
and he's going to drip it directly into his eyeball.
Oral use only.
Yeah. Drip, drip. I'm not actually gonna do it.
Yeah.
Good. Good. Please don't drip me all over you.
Okay. Fast acting and acting. I'm gonna use astral projection.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Yeah. Please do that.
All right. Let's
As
go.
Tegan has said, that our science is not welcome here. This is great.
Well, astral projecting by taking LSD is kind of borderline science. That's called of
Fair.
ecstasy bullshit right there.
This is true. This is true.
What's my
fair.
difficulty? So that's mine 4.
Oh, crap. Hold on.
Do I have any psychedelic music?
Nolan's trip.
Difficulty 7.
Okay. That is... that's 2 successes then.
Okay. Nolan
sorry.
sat down or something, right?
Yeah, no, he knows he's gonna fall over when this happens.
Cool. Cool.
Nope, not that.
Nolan sits down, drips some LSD in his eye. Jesus Christ. I prepared for one thing, and then you up the ante, and I love it. So this is great. And you're looking for the ship, correct?
Or people. Basically, I'm looking for a sign of something that isn't just where we are right now.
Fantastic. You open your other eyes, really. And
Whoa.
you're not in the lovely, manicured, sunny place that you just were. But you do see a metal, like it's like a metal control room that is just absolutely covered in these hard webs. And you see 4 cocooned shapes and a small swarm of about a couple hundred, maybe 1,000 little tiny spiders are just around. They're not
Whoa.
on any of the cocoons. And they just kind of roam in like this wave. So you can't even tell they're really spiders at first. They're just like in this mass that moves as like one thing.
Well, balls. I don't like that. Wait, are we 1, 2? Are we in the spider matrix? I don't like this so much. Shit. I think that's probably a good place to drop me.
Yep.
I just looked at YouTube, Kelly.
There you go, back in my body for a sec.
That effect's great.
Well done. That's great. Yeah, so you can innately sense that you are in one of the cocoons, and then you wake up if you choose, back in your body if you don't like where you are.
Ah!
How was
You
your
okay?
trip?
I don't like. Ow.
Heather's gonna reach out and pat his head in the most awkward way possible,
Spider.
and just like
Spider. Sorry. No.
Nope.
What?
There.
Spider?
It's okay.
Okay.
What about spiders?
We're in the spider matrix.
That doesn't explain.
Balls, you guys think I'm high? I'm not. I mean, I'm a little high.
You took a whole lot of LSD.
Yeah,
so
you
It was.
put
It's,
LSD in your
bit.
eyes.
yeah, and okay. Okay. We're in cocoons. That's right. Not to bury the lead, but I don't want to alarm anybody.
Bit late, but okay, carry
Yep.
on.
Kind of alarmed.
This is a simulation.
Figured.
We're in cocoons with
Great.
spirit spiders or space spiders or there's umbra spiders. Why do I
I
know
will
that?
say I never wanted to hear the word space spiders.
Yeah, no. We're spirit spider.
That's
We're
not-
in cocoons. This is Lord of the Rings bullshit right here.
Yeah! Yeah, it is.
That.
It is. And I just want to go home, Mr. Frodo. I don't want to be in no spider web. I don't want to be Spider-Man.
See, I don't think that any of us count as Mr. Frodo, given our current party. Though I could
No.
see the temptation to use references of the Fellowship, but I don't think we quite fit that particular
Really, you're kind of a
archetype.
you kind of remind me a little bit of like a Legolas. You're kind of elfy.
I
Sophia.
don't see it.
Alright, Sophia more.
What?
Or
No,
Aragorn.
Sophia's
very
Aragorn.
Aragorn energy.
That's true.
Sophia looks considering that. Finds no
All right.
fault with it and lets it go.
Anyways, I'm trying not to focus on it, but man, we need to focus on it. Spiders, we're in
Is it for being
cocoons.
eaten?
I think they're like, I don't know, maybe they're just sucking on our energy. Or like in the original
Great.
draft of the Matrix, wasn't it like brain processing power? I think it was.
Sophia,
Okay, well then they're not going to get anything from us.
Yes.
you can roll me Esoterica Reality Deviance if you would like.
I would love to do that.
Cool.
What
you
stat
specifically.
do you want this rolled with?
Let's go intelligence.
Okay.
But your difficulty is going to be lower. It's
Okay.
going to be 5.
That is all successes, so 2, 4, 6.
Nice. You have done a lot of fighting werewolves.
Yeah, do I know about the concept of spirits?
You know about the concept of spirits, but specifically, you know the concept of some of the werewolf spirits, including weaver spirits, aka spiders.
Thought you were gonna say that.
Yeah. Everyone else can also give me a perception and alertness at difficulty 7 because you're freaking out.
Oh,
like that
do I
concept.
get anything for that? Because I have the judge's wisdom thing, so freaking out
Oh,
isn't
yeah,
really a thing that Heather...
Yeah, you can
Difficulty
you can
7?
be difficulty of 5.
What the shit was that actual roll? That's amazing.
Nice.
On 5 dice, I rolled 4 successes. which
Oh
was
wow.
successes.
Everybody's
Nice.
you're all
Every-
hyper vigilant now.
No, when you
This
mention
is-
spiders on us, that kind of reminds us
Yep.
what's up.
That kind of does it.
Yeah,
Um,
that kind of does it.
Right? So the three of you, as Sophia's like running through her memories of werewolf spirits and what Nolan could be possibly talking about, the other three of you notice 2 things very quickly. One is that Mateo is not here,
Yeah.
and the other is that there is a large sign because I know Heather went outside, so I just kind of assumed the rest of you were kind of outside. But
Yeah, we
there's a
followed,
large,
I think.
there's a large sign that says, what does it say? Biblioteca Iskandrina.
Donde está?
Please continue.
Call me crazy, but is that the Library of Alexandria?
Huh.
Nah, that can't be right. I don't speak.
Huh.
Does anyone else speak the language that makes sense? Because that just looks kind of like that.
Jen, can you remind me of a bit more of the detail of Weaver spirits when you have a chance? I don't remember enough detail to really translate much, but
Yeah, basically, so you remember that the Weaver is one of the 3 major werewolf spirits. The others being the Worm and the Wild. And the Weaver is all about stasis, and so it tends to try and keep order out of build order out of chaos and all of this stuff. Whereas the other 2 kind of work in conjunction. And Weaver spirits usually are attuned to that purpose. So in this case, usually they're kind of most generic ones are called pattern spiders, because they build the pattern of reality, really. But there are also other kinds that may or may not take spider form, but a lot of them do. And often they are determined but through these webs that are like not like spider webs like we know them. They're kind of hard, and they actually work almost like network cables. Information will pass through them as well.
All right. I think Sophia is going to pass most of that on of what that kind of reminds her of to the others.
So that's like an actual repository of like information.
I mean,
I think basically.
So we can look up a way to get home and then get out of here?
I mean, if you can access and connect with the spirits.
I can.
Into the library?
Okay, as soon as anybody wants, I can probably wake us up in the cocoons.
Oh boy, I never want to wake up in those cocoons.
Okay, well, if you're ready, then just when you're ready,
I'll
I'm just
point
gonna...
out that we probably want to prepare somehow so that we're not
Yeah.
stuck in cocoons, unable to escape. We need something else.
Okay.
And if we're here and there's a library, maybe it can help us get home.
You
Okay.
know what they say, books are the best weapons in the world.
Who said that? I thought it was knowledge is
The
power.
doctor? The doc-
Probably someone who's really good at throwing books.
Like Dr. Phil?
No, Doctor Who.
Oh.
Yeah, that doctor.
Oh, this doctor?
Yes. Oh, yes, that one.
Oh, yes, that one. I forgot that's
Sorry,
a TARDIS tie.
I skipped the Eccleston season.
That was Tennant.
Yeah, okay. Which... Who?
David Tennant. Anyways, we're getting distracted here.
It's the bald guy, right? Anyway.
No. The poofy Scottish man.
Oh, I only watch the old stuff. The Eighth Doctor was my jam when I was a kid. That movie was awesome.
They had a movie?
Yeah, he got shot. Sylvester McCoy got
thought
shot
he
with an
only-
Uzi.
That wasn't
this-
the 8th.
No, but he regenerated into the Eighth Doctor, which, was, yeah,
John Hurt.
I thought 8th just had audio dramas
John Hurt.
and like a book.
Yeah,
Well, no, for the 50th anniversary special, it was John Hurt. They did a little flashback thing.
they did a special?
For the 50th anniversary.
Oh. Weird.
Anyways, I'm trying to forget about the fact that we're in cocoons surrounded by spiders, so we should probably focus,
Very
otherwise
Doctor
I'm
Who
just...
type of situation to be in, though. You have to
it
admit
really
that.
is.
All right.
You head into the library?
All right.
Yes, into the
Let's
library.
go find some books.
Okay. So you go in, and again, you see that kind of circular central gallery. You look up, there's multiple stories, skylights, bright windows. It's a lovely place. All of these kind of Greco-Egyptian columns, and just endless rows of shelves. As you see them kind of move away from the central gallery that you're in all directions but the one you kind of just came in from, it does look like as they go back, it looks a little darker, maybe a little bit more medievally, like crammed together. There's some scrolls back there when you can kind of see that they're not quite books anymore, and so there's a lot here. Out of character, I will tell you that whatever you might want to look into, you are welcome to. If you decide that you would like to study any particular knowledge on the character sheet, I will reduce the XP cost for that. So long as you put in
Cool.
some time studying here. And I'm not talking like a ton of time. I'm just talking like you put concerted effort into doing that. It will be a slight reduction, but it will be a reduction nonetheless. And yeah, you are welcome to peruse the library.
Well, I guess we had better get studying.
Yeah, I'm rather invested in figuring out how to get us home more quickly, so I'm gonna go look in, and she's looking like at her directory.
There seems to
that
be like,
direction.
yeah, there's like one of those round kind of librarian desks, but there's no one there. There is a little bell, and there's like a couple of what look to be maybe not super up to date, but not terribly old, like computer terminals that look like maybe they would have a library catalog or something like that.
So yeah, she's looking for ultimately like a physical catalog where you go through and you flip through all the little cards.
Oh yeah, there's definitely an old style card catalog kind of against one wall. It is very large.
So if she's looking for something about dimensional possibly paraphysics, something to get you from what point A to point B.
You probably have to figure out some keywords and search for those. Yay, old school card catalogs.
Yeah. So she's gonna start racking through her brain for possibilities, and we'll flip things between like Umbra, probably looking for like the weird terms she's heard of before and be like, what was it that was that the thing when there's a thinning in the veil? It's like a gauntlet or something.
Yep, thinning in the gauntlet.
What it's called? That's what it's
There's
called?
yeah, the gauntlet. There's too many people here. Hello? Hello?
I don't think we want anyone actually to come and attend us.
I don't want
You guys wanna ring
spiders.
it?
I don't want no
Okay.
spiders.
You ring the bell.
Oh no.
I had to put a bell out. And for a minute, nothing really happens. And Nolan kind of goes, oh, like, okay, I'm not gonna ring the bell anymore. Heather, you're searching through the card catalog. You can give me an intelligence actually some sort of mental stat, whatever you think she might use to look through that.
Intelligence creative?
Yeah, because you're trying to come up with some interesting solutions, and then research, academics. I'd even take enigmas or investigation, something like that. But feel free to make me an argument.
I have not a lot for this specifically. I have computer and cosmology, and I have investigation. That seem like they might be. Oh, I have 1 point in research.
Or investigation. I'll take either, whichever one you'd prefer.
Okay. Once I actually start trying to understand and process the information, I feel like that gets more into the research side of it.
Sounds good.
Cool. 1 second.
Difficulty of 6 for that. And while you're rolling that, and just put the number in the chat, but I will tell you what happens with Nolan.
Sorry.
So, Nolan, as you turn away from the librarian desk, presumably to help or hinder someone else, who knows, you start to hear the sound of many voices, all kind of overlapping and conflicting with each other like a crowd. And from the depths of one of the stacks, this shape begins to materialize and move towards you. And at first you're not sure what you're seeing. And you blink as you realize that, like some sort of weird computer glitch, this shape is really hundreds of people kind of mushed together and overlapping.
Oh,
and
like one of those the average baseball player pictures?
Not even that. Like it's a bunch of full people. It's not just one person. It's like I've used this already in this game, and I feel bad for using the reference another time, but a Katamari Damacy of people.
Oh.
All kind of moving towards you. And you realize that as it kind of approaches, the words start to make a little more sense, and it's a, "How can I help you?" but in 100 voices.
We're looking for information on how to travel to Earth from here.
Information. We have information.
Good.
Let's... Umbral travel. Look under Umbral travel. Can I help you with anything else?
What's the name of the person currently living at, I'm going to give my old address.
Oh. Okay.
As well as any kin, particularly young children. The children under the age of 18 years old.
The address at... inserts address here. Is currently owned by a Joseph Bell Z. Joseph Bell Z. No children. Age 73. Wife deceased. Name Martha.
Did you have to say that name? Is there any record of any young child, particularly a young male child, at that address?
Computing. Last known male child. And then you get back this kind of screeching, glitchy sound.
Dial up. Do you have a year at least?
It gives the year you last lived there.
Am I the kid I'm supposed to save? Oh, that would make sense. Was this an inner journey thing?
Are you okay, Nolan?
Not even remotely. Are you? I'm literally talking to, no offense, this.
None taken.
You're a lot to comprehend for the mortal mind. I'm sure you're lovely.
We hold all the information in the universe. Of course we are lovely.
Computer, where are we?
Self-confidence is great.
You are in the bibliotech.
Planet? Location?
Upper astral realm.
computer, can you get us a book that shows off the cosmology of the realms, including the upper astral realm and the prime material plane?
Give me a Dex and Athletics roll.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
The book's flat coming to you.
All right,
Difficulty is
that's-
6.
Okay. 3 successes.
Excellent. You hear the whistling of something moving very fast towards you and manage to duck out of the way as it clatters against a wall and falls. And it's a book that opens to a page with a lovely illustration of some sort of cosmology, you think.
I'm gonna tap out for a bit. I'm gonna tap out. Do you have this? Okay. And he's gonna go over and like look at the book and leave Tegan to go do her own thing.
Do you require assistance?
Yeah. Do you know where I could find a book on how to travel between these realms of some sort? How people might do that? Yeah.
Umbral travel is a large section. On the 3rd floor.
Great. Thank you for not throwing the entire section at me. I hope you have a pleasant day, computer.
You as well. Yes, Heather?
So, I feel like while they've been talking, can Heather have found the section about umbral travel and have like already gone there?
100%, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. She's
You're
already
already
reading
there.
through books and is probably like compiling a stack of them and is like if there's like a one of those ladder things, it's probably like been like half up top one and is like just dropping books down.
Sure, yeah. And Christine?
Sophia is going to be looking up probably enigmas and esoterica type stuff.
Cool, yeah, absolutely.
I would like to take advantage of that proposal to lower the cost of skill points for a bit.
Fantastic. Just make a note of what you are working on. And basically, yeah, you don't have to buy it even this game necessarily if you don't have the XP for it, but
yeah,
we can
she's
talk
going to look
about what the
into
actual cost is later.
enigmas, esoterica, and occult type stuff.
Fantastic. You can
Build
find
her knowledge
stuff
base
on
there to be able to identify stuff.
Yeah.
Or at least what stuff thinks it is,
If you
even if it's
could-
wrong.
Mhm,
Because it might
right?
very well be wrong, but
So-
it might think itself right.
Yeah. And sometimes you just need to know, like, as somebody who does a lot of research, sometimes you just need to know the words of things to be able to find them.
Yep.
Right?
At least understand what somebody means by it when they think that they are XYZ thing. And it's like, all right, I'm sure you do think that, but such a thing is actually like does not exist. But I understand that you believe yourself to be the concept of it.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
wrong. But I now know how to combat your particular neurosis type thing. At least translate it into technocracy babble.
100%. And if you could also just give me an intelligence roll, just straight intelligence, difficulty of 5. Just Sophia. Specifically because you're looking up stuff like enigmas and 2. Okay. You also remember, and this is, I'm reminding you, the player, as a storyteller, but also your character is remembering because she's had a few busy days, like many, much busy time. It's been busy. But early on in this whole adventure, there was discussion of the Chlorvia, and potential of like threatenal viruses. And so if you were interested in also looking into any of that, you picked
Yes.
esoterica specifically, so I was like, that's why I gave you that clue, but you also can look into some of that stuff.
Yes, please. I would like
Okay.
to put my intellect and my research ability to those. I do have points in research.
Awesome. Yeah. So yeah, and as I mentioned for the private chat, yes, you can reduce the cost on all of those things.
Sweet.
My justification is I'm not giving you a lot of downtime to learn stuff. So you can learn it here. Same with spheres. Anything that you could potentially read up on and think about, and as long as you make a note of it while you're here and you spend at least some period of time working on it, you can have some reduced XP costs or reduced time costs for learning things. Reduced sphere costs and reduced time costs, because this library has everything.
Well, here I go. Learning.
Learning time. Nice. Everybody's like, what can we learn? Exciting. And yes, Amy, if you pay for a seeking, yes. Your seeking would not or like
no.
Yeah.
But
you understand. Yes. So I think actually, because I could use a bio break, we're going to take a short break. You guys can think about a few things, and we will be back momentarily to figure out what's going on here.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Yeah, we're back. Hi, how's it going?
We lost somebody.
I wave at you, but
yeah.
you can't see it.
There's two.
Yay.
We have two chibis, but one of them's actually not here.
Yeah.
There we
Amy had to step away, but Heather is just researching in the stacks forever.
Yeah, real hard. Researching real hard.
We'll have to remember not to leave her behind if shit happens.
She'll wake up when the spiders wake up. It's
Amy's
fine.
been feeling gross all day, so
Yeah.
she called in. She made it through half game, and then she took a half day.
Yeah.
Pink hair. Team pink hair is chibified.
Yeah. There we go. That's so cute. I love them both.
I know.
I love all of them.
I know.
I love them so much.
I
I love
the
Kibo's
chibis.
chibi. It's so
Did we show everybody Kibo's chibi?
I don't think
I don't know.
we've shown anyone mages. The
okay, hold on.
Technocracy chibis.
Kibo.
Yeah,
So,
let's
I mean,
do
this
that.
is like a chat break right now. So,
Yeah, it is.
so,
We usually do a slightly shorter one because there's fewer people in the chat, but still.
so there's Tegan. Oh, no, that's moving everybody. Let's not do that. Let's just grab Tegan. And there's Tegan.
Everybody's moving through space.
And then there's Nolan with his llama. And a cup of coffee, because my god, he needs coffee. And then here's Kibo.
Oh, there's Tegan. She finally showed up.
Tegan.
Yeah,
There's
she's so cute.
Kibo there on top of Jen. Right?
Hi.
So they're really good
I
chibis.
love
from
the
our-
psychotic look on Nolan's face. Is just perfect.
Right? He's sane.
Kibo.
I do love that llama.
Me too.
The llama.
Yeah, it's
The
great.
trauma llama and the drama
Yeah.
llama.
It's
And the
currently
giant
right
one,
behind
which-
me, actually riding my axe on my shelf.
Damn straight. That axe is amazing. Oh,
And it's
man.
straddling it rather thoroughly.
Well, it's got to ride on something.
I do love
yeah.
how they had my taser threads just like swishing around my character. It's amazing.
Yeah, they're slightly below frame, so let me just lift them so people can see. So it's wee 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 wee.
I was gonna say the Kibo Chibi can conquer the multiverse, and it will. Wait,
Wait, what?
Foreshadow.
Final villain reveal.
BBEG.
plot reveal.
Kibo all along.
Yeah, right.
Yep. That's real good. But yeah, I was seeing all of the amazing stuff that was in the comment section here saying that people are excited that we're back with next Saturday with Devil and the Dove, or not Devil and the Doves.
Un volière diabolique.
Yeah, but yeah, Mage is coming back next week, which is great. And people are like, yay, some fun, like Lockgen's having a watch party for it, which blows my mind. That's
wild.
That's
like
so,
stuff
like,
you do for real streams, guys.
Guys, we're a real stream. People are
We're a
going
real
to party for a return.
We got fans!
Of not a D&D game, too. It's Mage. Like, that's even more exciting.
Because we're the only people on the internet that run Mage.
I know.
Isn't that really, like, we're almost the only people who do it. It's like us, sometimes Travis. That's about it.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. You know why? Because we defeated them all.
We did defeat them all in single combat.
All right, I'm just going to go back. I realized part of my black went off on my makeup, and it's bugging me.
Right.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, and speaking of Mage, I did an interview about Paradox, the podcast, not the thing, but the podcast, my podcast. I did an interview about it with Mage the podcast, which is like the only other Mage-related podcast on the internet. And my numbers have skyrocketed in the last 24 hours, so that's exciting.
If you folks aren't subscribed to Jen's podcast, what are you doing with your life?
Like, you've got so many episodes on there. I can't keep up. I tried. I tried.
You think Jen has, what is it, sonorous? You think that Jen has a sexy voice in this game? Wait till it's like on, like, no, like.
Oh, Jen's got like the perfect podcast voice. Like, damn.
Jen, we need to get you on a true crime podcast. Like, we need to.
Oh, you'd be so good at that.
And then the killer plucked out the eyeballs. Just do it. Just do it. Everybody shut your eyes. Jen, do it.
And then the killer plucked out their eyeballs.
It's so good. It's so. I'd pay for that. I'd pay for that.
There you go.
But honestly, if you guys are like really into the system for Mage and whatnot, definitely go check out Jen's podcast, because it really does approachably target a lot of like questions in it and concepts and parts of the game, and it's really useful.
I think so.
It's really good. Can confirm. I'm up to date on all the current episodes. It's great.
I need to get back up to date. I was catching up, and then I stopped for a couple of weeks. I was like shit.
Not to
Correspondence and Data just came out, so.
Oh, nice.
I know.
Yeah, not to praise bomb you, Jen, but it's obvious you spend a lot of work on it, and it's really nice. Yeah. Especially for
so people should listen to it.
It does not sound like you make it in your basement. Right? Like, it makes it sound like you actually like have money behind it, which is nice.
I make it in my basement, which is where I live, in my little hobbit hole, because it's true.
We're millennials, that's where we live.
I usually write, record, and edit it in the space of 48 hours. Because I'm crazy.
Yep.
And I keep forgetting to write it and then go, oh crap, it's due. But that's how I work best, so, you know.
Yeah. I think it's really good. What else is coming? I need a name for next chapter of Mage. That's the one thing I don't have. Naming the chapters in Mage is really hard, because they have to be like vaguely traditionally sounding names. But yeah. And then just so you all know, because we didn't have Technocracy for a while, and we probably aren't doing it in December, right? Like, we're not, like, everybody's busy in December.
So in December, we couldn't do the first weekend of December for anything that we normally run on a Sunday. So then there's the second weekend of December, which we decided to run Panic instead. And then the third and fourth and fifth weeks, you're getting to the holidays.
Yeah, and we're all gone.
So,
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I'm going to
yeah.
try to have some other content ready for that. We also have another Extra Life that we're going to be doing one day in December as well.
So-
But yes,
I was gonna say, think of it as in you're getting the December early
Mm-hmm.
Mage
Because-
or Technocracy. It's releasing early in December.
yeah. So
'Cause it's
we're
November.
Getting it a week early, so
so basically we're running this now. We're running again in 2 weeks, and then we're
Yeah.
going to do it at the beginning of January sometime. We'll figure out when.
sometime in there.
And then Radiant Citadel's running next weekend, which is the start of Planescape. Which it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Planescape's gonna be great. You all should tune in. I really could use the ratings boosts on Sundays. Shut up. And then we got a bunch of stuff in the new year that's coming. Those of you
Well,
who are
we've got
fans,
the end of Dragonlance coming up pretty quick
God,
here.
I can't wait to have. I'm not looking forward to the end, but I'm thinking of all the things I could do with Wednesday nights off and all of the
Right.
recordings I could get done and just like editing and
Right.
sleeping.
Just some time. Some time
Just-
would be great. For a little
Yeah.
bit. For a little bit.
And and then we've got a bunch of new stuff starting in the new year, including some stuff that those of you who like the World of Darkness and Chronicles of Darkness might appreciate. We have something very fun headed your way that you will never guess. Like not in 10 guesses, that's for sure. Mwahahaha. Yeah, I think that's a good let's talk. Do you have anything else you want to
Yeah.
mention, Jen?
I don't think so. We might not go super like to normal late time tonight. We're gonna see how it goes, but I gave you guys some time to figure out sort of things you want to look into and learn. And I did say that basically you could find anything here. So yeah. So let's go back. Excellent. You're back in the library. You're still in the library. You've been in the library for a while. And Heather is off in some stack or other, hiding in a fortress of books at this point. While the rest of you wander about and decide what you want to look into. There's the kind of looming sense of not knowing how much time you have here, but wanting to make the most of it.
You think-
I will say that, Nolan, when you think on it a little bit, you don't think what you saw was indicative of much immediate danger.
Do you think 1 minute in the library is like 1 spider minute, or is it like dog years?
I'm trying not to think about spiders, Nolan, for like 10 minutes. Can we just not mention the spiders?
A voice will float down from a higher level from Sophia. Do spiders comprehend time differently?
I mean, they have 8 eyes. Do you think that speed just slows down time when you have like quadruple the amount that we do?
I don't know, but it's kind of funny that they've connected us to this like interface. I wouldn't think they'd be using a library for knowledge. I just figured they'd look it up on the web.
Well, maybe they're just trying to give you something you're comfortable with, Nolan.
I thought it was fun. I'm gonna go back to studying.
So we'll just take you kind of one at a time if there's anything in particular. If you're just looking for like the stuff you want to learn, the knowledges and whatnot, don't worry too much about it. Like I said, you can just make a list and I know a couple of you were making lists in the private chat, but make sure you grab those so that, because I don't think I did and I forgot. But that way I just know what you have reduced costs for. But if there's anything game-wise or anything very particular that you're looking into, do let me know those things, and I will let you know what you do or do not find. And we'll start with Nolan, I think.
Nolan is looking up spirit. He is looking up prime magic. He is looking, I mean, entropy if it's right there. Is also researching esoterica and anything he can about the Rogue Council.
Excellent. So you do find a you actually find a bunch on the different types of or the different spheres and whatnot to your heart's content. A lot of it is from the mage perspective, but you can translate and you can be like, oh, I can see how this science would work here and how this, technique would work here. There are some scientific and research-based versions that you can also look at. So, there's a pretty good selection for what you might want to learn there. And you also find kind of tucked, not way in the back, but in like an obscure media section, are just tapes upon tapes of messages from the Rogue Council. Well, messages from the Rogue Council and the Sphinx, really.
I guess let's start watching. Or listening.
Cool. Yeah, you begin to listen, and they are, if I can find you hear all of the common lines, the no unity without diversity, no ascension without freedom. Enigma takes you where dogma cannot. We do not create the path to ascension, we explore it. But they're all, some of them trigger some like vague memories you have of just that time in your life when these were going out and the Technocracy was working to figure out what the hell was going on, where these were coming from, what they meant, and just that period of time of confusion and a little bit of rage, really, at just the feeling of the Ascension War, the height of it, really. And what you don't find is the one that the one message that Tegan received not that long ago. The one that referenced your address, your old address.
That's weird. So that's not there? Was it not logged? Was it deleted? Was it not the Rogue Council? Why was it my address? Are the boys are my address? Am I a boy? I'm not a boy. I'm a man, kinda. I'm shaped like a man.
Can you give me a perception and alertness check?
My kingdom for Ask Jeeves.
Difficulty of 6.
Oh, just casual 4. Casual 4.
Casual 4? Cool.
Casual 4.
I was very tempted there when you said ask Jeeves to like bring the the glitchy person in and be like, I am Jeeves. You're thinking and you're just scratching your head at what what could this possibly mean? And you look up and your eyes land on this book, which wouldn't normally strike you as odd, except everything else in this particular section is just old media that isn't books. So it's, tape recordings and records and floppy disks.
You're in the
And
wrong neighborhood, buddy.
it's a small little book, about an inch, well, not even an inch thick, like half an inch thick, kind of squeezed in between a couple of, squeezed in between some VHS tapes. And on the cover, it's just this, like, red, or maybe it was red once, but it's kind of darkened now. Maybe it was blue. You're not really sure what color it was, but it's darkened now. It was definitely something else. It's kind of dirty and grimy at this point. You blow the dust off, and there's no title, but it does have a name written on it. And that name is finding the name. George. It just says George.
Hi, George. Would you like to play with the rabbits, George? I'd like to see the rabbits, George. Who are you? He'll start reading it.
As you start reading it, the words start to come back to you. Because they're your words that you wrote once. You think this is maybe not a journal per se, or diary, but a place where you wrote thoughts when you were younger.
That's my handwriting. It's not creepy at all. George, why would it be creepy? He will investigate this.
Fantastic. Roll me some intelligence and investigation.
Oh boy, I'd love to do that. I sure
And
do.
because it's yours, it'll be difficulty of 5.
Does deduction matter?
Yes.
No, actually, that's a cock one.
I was gonna say, or does it?
That is 3 successes at difficulty 8. You said difficulty what? Actually 5?
I said 5, yeah.
Oh, 4 successes then.
Excellent. You investigate this and shake your head a few times. You know... you were with the NWO.
Mm-hmm.
You know the methods they have and the lengths they go to. It's entirely possible that this was yours, that you don't remember your name being George, but it could have been. You've lost a lot over the years. A lot of yourself.
George. A dumb name. I don't like it. There's not very many good Georges out there. Maybe I guess there's George Washington. Pretty. George Brett. George Costanza. George Jetson. Okay, I guess it's not that bad. Good company.
And you think as you kind of look at it a bit more, it starts. You didn't write in it very frequently, but every so often you would write down the difficult things. And so you started it when you were probably late teens. And you mention or and as you go on, you talk about your feelings during 9/11 and what you went into after that. The work you started doing. And how it was hard but also fulfilling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, waterboarding's real fulfilling, George.
And about the time the Technocracy recruited you, the journal stops.
No, sir, I don't like it. Was this planted by the spider gods?
Everything's a plot by the spider gods.
Oh, what a wicked
Oh,
web
the
we
spider
weave.
gods.
What a wicked web we weave, spider gods. Ugh, gross.
And give me another perception and alertness difficulty 6.
I will. I'll do it right now. Wait, hold on. Perception and alertness? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
I got one more dice. Hold on. Ooh. Okay. Does, in fact, astute qualify? Or nah?
Sure. Yes.
What's my difficulty?
6.
Hold on. Okay. 4 successes. There's a lot of 10s.
Yeah, fair. You happen to glance over and notice that there's another. It's not even really a full box of recordings like the one you were just going through. But it's another box with a set of tapes. 2 tapes.
Round 2. Let's go.
And as you listen to the first one, you hear the words you heard from Tegan. Those same, save the boy, find the lost boy, retrieve him from control.
Oh, okay, that sounds right.
And the second tape, you hear a voice that you don't recognize. A young man's voice, not your own, but one that speaks with authority and confidence. I think we found the one who can change everything. I think a recording has gone out, but I don't know if we got it out in time. We went to the address and no one was there. I think they got him. I think he's been recruited. I don't know if this will live to see any light of day, but I believe this is the moment we lost the Ascension War. The boy is gone. And it just clicks off.
Huh?
And we're going to leave Nolan with his thoughts.
Sounds good.
His very confusing thoughts. And Sophia, what is Sophia up to?
Sophia is researching a lot of stuff, really, to try and see if anything twigs useful information for the situation they've been finding themselves in. But also realizing kind of like how broad the resources are is kind of fleshing out her knowledge base a little bit in multiple things. She's been focusing on like the enigma type stuff, esoterica, cosmology, occult, science, to see if she can figure out kind of what's going on, how we might get back, if anything. And if she happens to have some time and runs across something to let her know that, oh, there's maybe some backgrounds of people in here, like legit information, she's gonna look up like her team currently, maybe some higher ups in her area, get a little blackmail material.
Yeah.
Be a good technocratic agent.
There you go.
Start
As you're
filling in her mental black book.
Yeah. As you're looking through the... Actually, you're looking through the areas on the Kulurvia, whatever they are. The cephalopod type creatures. You're not really sure how they relate to all this, but what you do get is that they started as a virus, an umbral virus. Potentially, they still exist as an umbral virus. They just ended up potentially attaching to some wayward void engineers and found the deep sea of Earth to be a fairly good habitat, and Special Projects Division may have, and Pendex may have had some experiments going with that. And you get this, this thought to, wait, if this information about Special Projects Division and all of that is here, maybe I can look deeper into that and deeper into the people there and follow that thread to the people you're working with. And you do end up finding information on everyone. Some information, at least. There's not a ton that's useful that you find about any of the Special Projects Division people, because most of their stuff ends in, you know, the late 90s or whenever they vanished. There isn't much on them beyond that, because there weren't any written records beyond that. You do find financial transactions between, like, Pentex, Special Projects Division, and then also the Syndicate, which seems a little weird, but there's definitely something odd going on there, but you're not sure what, just from the finance. It's the Syndicate's funding something. And you also find that there is some information on Nolan, but it's mostly him as an adult, and most of it's either been heavily redacted or is later in his life. You do, however, find some good background around the disappearance/death of his wife. You get all of Tegan's history, her injuries, her recruitment in the Technocracy, her soaring through the ranks and being assigned to the Hitmark research and development team before you all traveled. And most of Heather's history is she became a void engineer to work on ships and then was assigned to this particular mission. There's not a lot on her that's super abnormal at this point. Nolan's is a bit more of a question mark. You find your own information as well, if you want to scroll through any of that.
I will have a look at it.
Mhm.
But the other thing is, if it looks like a book, can she just take it off the shelf and misfile it?
Absolutely.
And hide it away?
Yes, indeed. You do also, because I just had
Is
this
there anything in it that
memory.
catches my attention as being something I don't remember or don't know about my life?
Good question. Where is... I know I have so many notes. This one. Nope. This one. There we go. You do find some information that you didn't know that's kind of attached to your file. It's not really, or like, it's more of an addendum to this book rather than part of your life. But it's a reference to another book or another file that you pull, which has that list of people that Tegan had found, that talked about you being a Section 12 candidate. And you discover that Section 12 was the, like, potentially making people werewolves experiment that Special Projects was running. So there was the potential that you were on somebody's watch list for maybe you'd make a good werewolf. That's what you find. Feel free to think about that if you want, or if you want to, like, look for anything else.
I think that's probably pretty much what she would be kind of diving into, etc. Just to see, okay, have they screwed around with my mind info, etc.
Doesn't look like it from what you can tell. It's pretty factual.
Good.
Even this, like, extra bit of information is more, you were doing so well that they were like, hey, maybe you'd be a good candidate for this thing if you, like, screw up on some stuff or whatever. Like, it wasn't even a we're going to go after her specifically. It was a maybe. And
We're aware of her for being a
Yeah.
werewolf.
yeah.
I think she's gonna try and really, like, memorize hardcore that list of, like, people
Mhm.
that were part of this, thinking that she'd be good to be Section 12.
Absolutely, yeah.
And just be like, all right. If she still has time, she might start looking into each of them to see if she can find any dirt on them to blackmail them into not doing that to her if they're still alive, or run across her at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can definitely you definitely have some time to look into that. Well,
Cool.
You think you have some time to look into that anyway.
She's basically gonna, from this point, like, having looked into stuff, start just kind of looking for future blackmail potential, or just insurance, essentially.
Yeah. And I will say that you aren't having much luck finding kind of ways to get out of here necessarily. The stuff that you think might be more helpful is a little outside your current wheelhouse.
I will have to rely then on Tegan and Heather, but I might as well make it might as well make like proper use of this opportunity.
Yes, precisely. And Tegan, what are you looking for?
So other than like basic things like looking at researching entropy and a bit of cosmology, I think she's really intrigued by the fucking weird thing that she had earlier. So I think she's gonna try and find references to an immortal who punishes mages that mess with time too much. So I think she's going to kind of reference that to try and find out who her savior, I guess, was.
Mm-hmm.
And find references of even maybe try and find out the mage that stood upon the rock and asked for immortality, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So she's gonna try and find that.
Excellent. So, upon looking for this spirit, this whatever he is, you can come back with only one name. Wrinkle. The descriptions of Wrinkle usually state that he will ask if a mage who has messed with time too much, he'll ask if they would like to have another chance to make a better decision. And if they accept, he will rewind time and they can redo whatever, or they can choose to not do whatever they had done to bring Wrinkle about in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, he seems very powerful, but kind of benign. Like, you found this information in amongst information of other far more terrible or annoying or frightening beings, entities. And he seems pretty, like, easygoing. But if you refuse, he can just make it so you were never born, should he choose. So, you know.
Yeah, just a fun little guy there.
Yeah. As for this other cryptic comment that he made, you're not really sure. There have been mages over time that have sought immortality. There are mages that had kind of earned it at one point. Abilities with life and extending your life, you can maybe not fully reach immortality, but live a very long time. You do, however, actually make me a intelligence. Intelligence and enigmas, if you have it.
I do not have enigmas. I have investigation, though.
Okay, give me investigation. I'll give it to you at a slightly higher difficulty.
Perfect. Does analytical apply for this?
Yes. And we're going to say it's difficulty 8.
Okay. That's, if I didn't roll a damn 1, that's one success.
Cool. Do you also have any cosmology yourself?
No, so I'm trying to also research that to try and buy up some cosmology.
That's what I thought, but that's fine. You end up looking at concepts of immortality and time passing, and you learn about, it's more of a like karmic, maybe dharmic, like reincarnation idea, the like eternal cycle, the just wheel of ages type thing, and the Euthanatoi, the Chakravanti, tend to follow that in some way. So you kind of get to that point, and maybe he was talking about that kind of mage, one who believed in reincarnation. You're not entirely sure. Does Tegan have any other ideas about what path of information she might want to track down there? Either for that or something else?
Yeah, I think other than that, also kind of trying to research as well, like similar to Heather, where it's like trying to cross and travel between the realms, because that's going to be a clue to getting home.
Indeed. And you mostly have data and forces, correct?
Yes.
Cool. So you don't find a ton that might help you here, or at least not much that you fully understand. It does seem to be a very dimensional science heavy thing. So you get kind of tangled up in some of the terminology and all of that. Nolan did have a book earlier that kind of laid out some of the cosmology stuff, and you were reading it and you are looking at some things, but you haven't quite got a grasp on it yet. But you do come across an interesting thought piece kind of writing that is more about the differences between the technocratic expression of certain realms of science and the mage spheres of magic kind of thing, and this equating of dimensional science and like spirit magic, which you kind of roll your eyes at, but you're like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
It's what like Sophia was saying earlier with you use these words and you use this thought process, you're wrong, but at least I'm learning something that I can maybe
at least
translate.
I can translate it into something that I understand, and maybe I can use something and
Precisely.
put that towards my understanding of how this works. Okay, I know what this means. I know the equivalent. Okay, what are they trying to actually talk about?
Yeah, exactly. And so there's this dimensional science spirit equating. There's prime and something you aren't super familiar with, but you've heard like syndicate members kind of talk about the primal utility of hypereconomics and well, like that's very very money centric.
Yes.
And also this equating between correspondence and data, which you do kind of have a better grasp on because you're very familiar with data, and so you
Yeah.
understand how as you read this, you're like, okay, this is how reality deviants believe that correspondence work, link between things. You can kind of understand that because there's data that links stuff in databases, and that's a very common concept in the science of data.
Yeah.
What you do read after that, though, is a sort of note that you raise your eyebrow at a little because it doesn't make a ton of sense to you. But it basically says that there is a hypothesis that in order to be able to manipulate data and utilize data, you need to be where data is. So there's this hypothesis where if you were to, you know, build a transporter essentially and break someone down into data to move them somewhere else and rebuild them with that same data, you'd have to do it somewhere where you could get a satellite link or a cell phone link or an internet link.
So she's like reading that. She's like, oh, that's what Wrinkle was talking about. Huh. Huh. How am I able to use data when I'm supposed to not be able to use data? Huh.
It's a good question.
Hypotheses.
I would like all of you to make me a stamina roll at difficulty 6, please.
Boy. Oh. I got a 10 and a 1.
I got a 8, 5, and a 1, so that's no successes.
2 10s and a 1.
We're doing great, gang.
I mean, that's not horrible. It's at least a success.
Yeah, I got no successes here.
Yeah. Yeah, Sophia, you're feeling fine. Nolan and Tegan, your head's starting to hurt a little.
Too many books, too many words, too many.
Too many spiders. Too many spiders.
I need to take a break. I need to take a study break. You know what they say? Take like a 10-minute breather and go back. It should be fine. I'm taking a study break. If anyone needs to want to come with me, the books are too much now. I'm gonna go outside and touch spider grass.
We should probably think about getting out of here soon.
Think it might just hear mild cackling from wherever Sophia is. I'm good.
She's in the porn, isn't she?
Better blackmail.
That's porn for your types.
Blackmail porn?
I'm sure that's a category on Pornhub somewhere.
Oh, like blackmail, not like black males. Okay, that makes more sense.
So you go out to touch spider grass, eh?
Yeah. Spider grass, spider grass. Just
Cool.
gonna touch spider grass.
Yeah. You take a short detour past where you're pretty sure Heather still is, and you go like, Heather, you
You
good?
alive?
And just a hand
Yeah.
up and a wave.
Cool.
And you head outside. You don't even need to make a roll for this because it's been a while. The sun has not seemed to move from its position.
Huh. This is great. Either this is definitely an illusion that they're thinking to put up for us, or time is moving in a very weird aspect. Either way, this is totally fine. This is great.
You
How
also
you
don't
doing,
feel
Nolan?
hungry at all or anything.
Huh. Well,
It's probably for the best if you don't know where the ship is. And
yeah, the spiders are just keeping me comfortable. I love thinking about that. Yay, spiders.
Nolan, one thing you do think about after diving deep into many, many books and spending a bunch of time here, you think that if projecting yourself with LSD helped you break out of this sort of illusion, hallucination, whatever it is you're experiencing,
Hallucination.
it's entirely possible that some good use of, some good use of drugs might help you and your compatriots break out, should you choose. Of course, you still have a bunch of stuff to look through and study if you really want to. So,
Oh, yeah. This is honestly, you nailed his plan on the head. He's just waiting for the go ahead.
cool. Your headaches are starting to get a little bit worse even out here in the sun. It's just feeling uncomfy.
Guys, we should probably start heading out.
No, I don't want to go fight the spiders. I don't want to.
Why are we fighting the spiders?
Well, obviously we have to wake up from our psychosis at some point and fight our way out. And
Then may
Get
just
to our
let us
ship?
go.
why are we here in the first place?
Well, you said that somebody saved you
From
and
me
brokered a deal, and they're the one who left you in this place along with the rest of us. And she is kind of leaning over a rail doing air quotes as she does all this. Which I keep forgetting that the chat cannot see me do this. Because I'm used to being on screen. Which is why Jen is dying slightly. So, I mean, we may very well have come here on invitation. We just didn't hear the invitation. So let's not assume fighting until they actually attack. But be prepared with a flamethrower regardless. You've seen that game, right?
Which game? What
Mario
game are
Party?
you
It
playing?
was Fire Spider in the House game.
No, that sounds like a great game though.
It's fantastic.
You guys never told me you play video games. We could have talked more. I played Pong a lot. Okay, do you want to wake up?
I guess. No, I mean, sure.
All right, grab Heather.
Heather. time to go take some drugs.
She seems distracted and still reading, but
Sophia will go
I've-
pick her up and put her over her shoulder and carry her down.
yeah, that's probably what's necessary.
Firemen carry her down.
All right. Let's get to it. Okay.
Alright.
So everybody just sit down on the ground. And close your eyes. Both of you close your eyes and no, close them. Close them. We can do this without drugs, okay? Just, I need you to focus for a second. I need you to both close your eyes and listen to your heartbeat. Go internal. That's right. Come on, all three of you. Come on. Heather, put the book down. Close your eyes. Breathe. You're going to count down from 100. I'm going to pull out my gun and unload the clip into the air as loud as possible, right next to each of their ears. And let's see if that wakes them up.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
sweet
punch
Jesus, yes.
Nolan in the face. If I get a
Yeah, I
chance.
feel like Sophia is going to have a violent reaction to this. Just
Well-
instinctually.
Well, this is going to be, so Jen, at difficulty,
Yeah.
so this is going to be Mind 4, empathic projection to force them awake. And I got a 6, 7, and 8. So I believe that's
Cool.
enough.
Yep, that is. Jesus.
Amy reaction in the chat. What the fuck?
Yep, 100%.
So
you're
the
gonna say
gunshots are
upload
only
in
going to
our
be in this
face.
realm.
I thought he was gonna shoot you all too, just like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
And now you're
Nope,
dead.
just right next to their ears. Just bang, bang,
Oh
bang.
my god.
Yeah.
You evil son of a bitch.
You all wake up and your bodies are bound tightly by this hardened material that you're just not sure. It's dark where you are. You can't see. Feel free to have any sort of violent reaction that you might. It'll be strength and athletics to try and break free.
Oh, perfect.
What's the difficulty?
7.
Fail.
Yeah.
3 successes.
Nice.
2 successes.
Great. Both of you do make significant progress, and you're starting to crack these, like, it's almost like bone, really, but in, like, long strands that are weirdly hard. There are no spiders on you, or around you at this point. I will be clear about that.
Thank you.
But you are breaking through this like bony web type stuff.
Are our
Um,
mouths fully covered?
You can still breathe, but they were kind of like covered in the sense that you were inside like a cocoon, but there were like air holes and stuff. So you can definitely break that part first, sort of thing, so that you can have that
She's
uncovered.
gonna kind of like, while she's struggling, be like,
Yeah.
better not fucking see Sheila when I get out of here.
It will take you another round or two. Basically, you need about 6 successes to break out of this. So roll me that again if you wish. Nolan, you can try again. I will say that everyone is down a willpower
Oh boy.
from the time you have spent in here.
Yup. I have 1 willpower left. Tegan would like to try and Can she try and shoot her finger guns at and put them on the cocoon to try and like weaken them a little bit? Where her hands are, like
Absolutely.
basically just kind of
Yeah.
activate them and just try and use that to help punch through.
Yeah.
4.
Nice.
I gotta say,
Nice.
rolling these solid gemstone dice feels remarkably sexy. Like
Told
they
ya.
are very nice feeling dice.
Another 3.
Cool.
They're worth it.
Sophia, you burst through and just shatter the rest of this cocoon around you. And Tegan, you kind of hold up your finger guns and just go pew pew. And it at first you're like, did that really work? And then it kind of starts to crumble away as you push through the remainder of it. You're like, oh, good. Nolan has managed to crack his and is like starting to work his way out of it. The final cocoon has not been opened yet.
I think Tegan's gonna start trying to unbury lovely Heather.
Fair enough. You can do that easily from the outside. That's not a problem. So Nolan, you can make another attempt, or Sophia can help you get out.
I got her. I'm good. I got 3 holy crap. 10, 10, 9.
Nice.
Nice.
Whoa!
Yeah, you managed to break out. And Heather is unconscious. Breathing, but just not awake. And the room you find yourselves in is this like non-functioning control room like area. Like it's not the one from your ship. I'll be clear about that. It looks similar, but is different. It's it's a much bigger, almost like what one you would potentially see in that NASA would use in like a space flight movie. So it's, a bunch of computer terminals, big screen, none of it is on, all of it is covered in these weird hard web-like structures that seem to be glowing a little and pulse every now and then, some of them. And there are, from what you can tell, 2 kinds of spiders in here. One of them is a much bigger spider. It's like sizable, like size of a small dog. And they seem to be just crawling around on some of the webs, going back and forth. They don't seem interested in you at all. And then there are these tiny dark spiders that all move together in these waves, so it's not individual ones moving. And they're just essentially surfing along these web links, moving around. They seem to come check on the cocoons, but they don't move over you or seem interested in you at all, really. They seem to like stop at each of the broken cocoons and then just swarm up to the next one and the next, and then head off.
Cool. We need to find the ship. Tegan would like to try and locate the ship. If her connection's still up with the ship, she'd like to try and use her sight. If not, she might try and go get one of those computers, see if they will turn on at all.
Yes. Your effect is not still up, which might worry you a little bit because that means more time has passed than you think it has.
Yep.
But you're welcome to go try one of the computers.
I would love to try and turn on one of the computers.
Excellent. It doesn't seem to have power.
I think Tegan's going to play with a setting on her smartwatch, and she's just gonna. Okay, I'm turning on. No, not that vision, not that vision. All right. Let's see what I can see around the area. And she would like to activate a forces site to see if there is any sort of electrical energy in this place.
Sure, yeah. I just want to make sure that what you were saying before Forces Sight was more for flavor than for me, because my sound cut out again for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you can absolutely roll for Forces Sight.
Perfect. Whoops. Holy shit, that's the best fucking...
You're only looking at like difficulty 3, so...
Yeah, I rolled 3 10s and an 8.
Nice. Yep.
Which we re-roll on magic rolls. We don't take
Yep.
the 2. It's okay. So that's only 7 successes.
The ship
Yeah,
was within you the whole time.
I see the electrical. I see all the forces ever.
Well, I'll tell you what you do see. You see that these weird webs, the ones that seem to be glowing a little and pulsing, are some sort of force that you could probably use to power at least one of these, if you can, you know.
Okay.
Some of them seem a little bit more pliable than others. Like, they're not all... They are hard calcified bone, but some of them don't seem to have solidified in shape just yet, so you might be able to move some of them.
Huh. Cool.
You will also notice that they are, from what you can tell, the only source of any sort of force in your immediate vicinity.
I know, Nolan, do you have anything like
What do you
that
need?
I need something that can conduct electricity. Do you have any like wire on you?
Sophia will sigh and hand over her taser from her inner pocket.
I will also say that Sophia does still have her giant gun too. Just so you know. Like,
She
I'm not
will
saying to
allow
use it
her
now.
taser to be
Yes.
cannibalized, but not the
I wasn't
gun.
saying this for you to use it. I'm saying this to let you know that you do still have it.
Excellent. I assumed I'd have the taser because it's probably on like an inner pocket, and they don't seem to have ruffled us much.
Yeah, it honestly seems like where you were before, you kind of... Nothing changed between there and you being in cocoons. So you're not sure what happened in that time period, but it seems like you were just moved from one to the other.
Okay.
So she will hand over her taser. Her lovely, lovely paws taser.
Tegan's not gonna probably mess with it much. She's probably just gonna like safely basically without like activating the electrical part. She's just gonna basically try to unspool the taser, like the wire, and she's gonna just try and basically hook it up to some of the calcified, like the webs that are shooting this electrical energy. So she's gonna try and do that, and then try and open up the computer console and try and just get to the power source, and then cut some wires and wrap the copper wire pieces around the wire of the taser, and hope to try and make a connection to that. So
Cool. Do you have jury rigging?
I do not. I have computer engineering. I didn't know if that would
Yes.
help.
Yeah, computer engineering will help. That was
Cool.
going to be kind of my next question.
And I have
jury rigging just works really well for this.
I have also like modification under my technology, like it's body modification, but I figured
Mhm.
like she's used to kind of playing with how weird things work, that it's like it's somewhat slightly, not quite fully jury rigging, but just like a little like sub branch of that.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so either like computer engineering or technology would work here, I think, with
Okay.
intelligence.
Perfect.
Heather with her creative, and I think jury rigging would probably be
Oh yeah, that would be
really
also
useful
great.
here, but that's fine. Difficulty of, we're gonna say 7 because it's kind of weird.
Okay. Wow. I had a 10 that rolled into 2 more 10s after that.
Ooh.
So that's great.
You're great. You're doing it.
7 successes.
Nice. Yeah, so I'm going to let you use your forces to, 'cause you have forces 2, right? At least?
I have forces 2, yeah.
Yeah.
So I can mildly manipulate stuff.
Yeah, so we're gonna do some ability enhanced magic here. Well, science.
Mhm.
Science.
Science.
And roll me your enlightenment at a difficulty of 3 for this.
Ooh, that's 4 successes. Rolled
Fantastic.
2 3s on that, so that was great.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, your knowledge of technology and modifying stuff has really helped here. And you manage to pull the whatever latent electricity or force or whatever this is through this taser wire and into the computer to turn it on. It boots up. It boots up slow. Real
Beep,
slow.
boop, beep.
Yeah,
And
kind of figured.
it's actually kind of reminding you a little of what you saw on the
The Nautilus?
Nautilus, yeah. Like that kind of time period. Old computer. But it does eventually boot up, and you're welcome to use it.
Perfect. Yeah. Gonna do a little snoopy through and see what this is, what information she can glean, and then see if she can try and figure out like some sort of, try and pull up a map or blueprints of this area where they may have the ship.
Sure, yeah. Why don't you roll me some intelligence and computers, just to snoop around on there, and difficulty 6. And while you're doing that, I'll see what the other 2 are up to.
Cool.
I think Sophia is basically watching for threats at this point.
Yep.
Cool. You 2 can roll me perception and awareness if you'd like. Difficulty of 6.
Oh no, I know what Nolan's doing.
Is it drugs?
No, that's 3 successes.
Cool. 4.
4
Nice.
successes, 3 of which were 7s.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, the 2 of you do feel uneasy. Something is very strange here, and you can't put your finger on it.
Okay.
Oh, Tegan. Oh, Tegan, no.
I have 8 dice. I rolled 1, 1, 1, 4,
What was
5,
the difficulty?
5, 6. Oh, and 7. 7. So there's a 7 in there too. But
What
the
was the
difficulty's
difficult-
6.
Oh, you didn't botch.
I didn't
You didn't
botch.
botch.
I almost did. I just
But you
failed
did
on 8
fail.
dice.
Okay.
Well, I will tell you that you don't know what is going on with this computer. This is old tech that you are just, it's not intuitive in the slightest. You're like, is this like I've heard of DOS. Is this DOS? Yeah. That's where you're kind of just staring at the computer being like, what do I push?
Right.
Yeah. I will let you roll your enlightenment to do like some sort of maybe data sense to see if you can find, because you are familiar with the ship, so I'll let you do that. But it will be at a difficulty of 5. So you're
Okay.
welcome to try that. As you're like, what if I just put in Nautilus? Like, will that send me? But what is Nolan up to?
Nolan is going. The spiders are still going around, right?
Yeah, they don't seem particularly like worried or concerned about you or even that interested in you. They just seem to be going about some sort of
Nolan is going to
pattern.
inspect them and is going to pull out a little magnifying glass from his eyeglass repair kit and is going to inspect them to see if he can discern whether or not they have minds using mind magic.
Okay. Please do.
I do it!
You do it.
I do it! I have 3
Excellent.
successes on 3, and then I've got a 5 and a 6.
Excellent. Your dice are just not liking you now anymore.
They've turned on me. They saw the 3 10s.
You were too cocky.
They saw the 10 that rolled into too many 10s, and they're like, now we're just gonna totally throw your rolls down.
Yeah.
Know your role.
And Tegan's just like bashing on the keyboard like, will this work? Nolan, you start looking at the spiders. Do you start with the like bigger dog-sized spiders or the smaller ones that are just kind of in weird waves?
Let's go with the least hostile looking of those. If they're in waves, let's go with the dog-sized ones, maybe?
Yeah, okay. So you look at the bigger ones and they don't seem to have like your mind just kind of skips over them. They don't really seem to have anything to latch onto there.
Hmm.
Do you move over to the other ones? Because I'll let you just keep it going.
You know what? Better not. Better not. I'm gonna give myself a pass on this one. I'm gonna say the mind spiders, thing spiders. I'm gonna give it. You know what? I'm gonna give myself a pass this time. Sophia?
Taking a pass on mind spiders seems like a good idea.
I don't need brain spiders. Can you imagine?
I would prefer not to. So stop bringing it up.
They're called intellect devourers.
Okay, so wait, hold on. So the spiders here don't have a brain, then that means that I. Okay, Tegan, how's it coming?
It's old tech. I'm trying to type in Nautilus, but it's struggling. It's struggling with me.
And as you say that, you finally get a sense of the ship is here. It's
Ship's here.
nearby, and you think you have an idea in which direction.
All right.
Think I know where the ship is, guys.
Okay, do we just... Is Heather cut out? Or do we just...
Heather's just sleeping.
Oh, she's
I
knocked out.
think.
All right, she's not plugged into the Matrix.
I don't know. You're the one that shot us. Oh, by the way.
I didn't shoot you. I shot next to you, and you already knew that they weren't real drugs because it was a simulation. You didn't know it wasn't a real gunshot. Your nervous system reacted automatically by waking yourselves up. It wouldn't have worked if I gave you drugs because you would have known they wouldn't have been real. If I told you I was going to shoot, it wouldn't have woken you up.
Glares at Nolan. but
You
doesn't say
needed an adrenal response.
Does Sophia pick up Heather and you guys just kind of head off? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Sorry, I won't shoot you again. Or at you. I didn't shoot you. I shot near you. I shot up.
How'd you wake yourself up?
We should probably keep going.
Yeah, you think I'm gonna drop that? I'm not, Nolan.
I was only like 80% sure that the simulation was real. 85.
You start to move through these hallways. You think they're hallways. The walls are almost completely covered in this web substance, this bony web. And what you can kind of see through little gaps is like metal walls, so you're pretty sure you're in some sort of metal construct, maybe a bigger ship. Not really sure at this point, but definitely not. You're not in Kansas anymore, but you do think that your ship is kind of ahead, down this hall. And Sophia and Nolan, that kind of uncomfy sense is getting worse as you walk down this hall.
Don't like it.
What?
I don't know. It's got a vibe.
This whole place has a vibe.
Pleasant vibe.
What? It is getting worse as we're walking towards the ship.
Uh-huh. It's that fun vibe that kind of runs over the back of your shoulders and up your neck of like tells you when something's gonna go wrong.
I could take that vibe away from everybody, but I think it's a good survival instinct, so we should probably hang on to it.
Yeah, don't take that
Yeah,
away
don't
from me.
touch that.
Well, Sophia, I would suggest you get your big fucking gun ready, just in case we need to blow some
There, here, you carry Heather.
better heads off. Yep, well, this is... I'm not as strong, but, okay. Alright.
And all of you
Fine.
give me perception and alertness.
Oof. What's the difficulty?
6.
Okay. 2.
4.
3.
Nice.
3, actually. Sorry, that's the 7.
There you go.
Oh.
Nice. So, as you kind of moved from that control place into this hall, you begin to really notice how dark it is. That most of the light that you're sensing is actually coming from these strands, and in the hallway it's a little worse because they're kind of pulsing. So you get this sort of flash of light and then it goes dark again. And it's not too bad. You can still more or less see where you're going, and it's not like there's a lot of ways to go off this hallway, because there are these door frames that are covered by this web as well. You can kind of see down. There might be different hallways down there, but it's not worth fighting through some of these webs to see, because you're pretty sure the ship is directly down this hall. And as you are walking, you can see the end of the hall approaching. And you realize you can see the end of the hall approaching because the light is getting brighter down there.
Hmm.
And as you
but
as you reach the edge of the hall, I'm going to tell you what you see. Because you see two forms, aside from just a bunch of spiders. But you see two forms. One is Mateo, and the other is just very, very bright light reaching out to touch him. And I'm going to call game there. And in 2 weeks,
oh no!
we can find out what the fuck is going on.
2 weeks.
Fuck you, Jen. Fuck you.
I'm evil.
It's true.
Yes.
It's true.
It's true. Honestly, if we had more time in between games, I probably wouldn't have been that mean, but it's only a couple of weeks.
It's only a couple
It's only a
weeks.
couple
It's
weeks.
fine. Everything's
Right.
fine.
Oh,
We're fine.
this episode. Spider Matrix.
Bum, 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 bum. Dun, 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 dun. Spider Matrix. Spider Matrix.
Spider Matrix.
All right.
I mean,
Thanks,
partly I
Chad.
wanted to cut there because I want Heather to be in the rest of this, so she's gonna wake up to this. What is happening?
What?
Into the Spider
That
Matrix.
was lots of fun.
Yes.
How much XP do we get?
Oh, that's a good point. We get one
so-
plus.
You get 1 plus. I am going to give you. I'm gonna give you 4 for a total of 5 because I'm also giving you the discount on a whole bunch of stuff. So,
I'm going to spend it. What's the discount?
your discount is going to be. Let's see here. I need an XP chart.
Abilities
Okay.
are current rating times 2.
Thank you. Abilities will be a 1-for-1. If you're buying the
Wait,
fourth
so
dot,
2
it'll be
costs
4
2?
XP. Instead of times 2,
Fuck yes!
it'll be times 1. For anything that you wanted to learn there.
Okay.
Spheres will be actually, yeah, I think I'm just going to do it that spheres will be half cost, but you still will need to study for a bit longer to get them.
All right.
So
All right.
more like thinking on it, experimenting yourself, and doing the practical side of things. But
Cool.
they'll be half cost. As
All
well.
right. Tegan's gonna, because she started learning entropy, but she's gonna continue learning entropy for that half cost. Sweet.
I am 1 XP away from having a lot of fun. Wait. No, I'm not. Because of half cost, I'm there. I can get Prime 2 like immediately.
Oh,
There you go.
nice.
Yeah, do it.
I'll think
All
about
right,
it.
so that's
Or I could get Spirit. Ooh, can I get Spirit 3? Hold on. It's 8 times?
Yeah, for the chat, because of December being December and some scheduling things, we're having Panic next Sunday, and then Zero Sum the Sunday after that, so November 26th, I think it is. And then there's another Panic in early December, and then it's the holidays. So so then Zero Sum will be back in January.
It's true.
Quick question regarding the reading of the ability costs.
Mhm.
When it says by current rating, were we in this
Right.
game doing it? So if you had 2 dots and you were going to buy 3, was it times 2 or times
Yep.
3?
We were doing it the cheaper way.
Yeah, we were doing it the cheaper way. Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
yes.
So it's even
All right.
cheaper.
Yeah,
Do you guys
I've
want-
Okay.
I've spent my remaining experience that I had. Is great. I have
Do you
science 5 now.
Yay.
do you want Nolan to have spirit or prime more? Because I've got 1 dot of spirit.
Ooh.
Because I could get if Jen
mean-
wants us to get home, I could get us home theoretically. Well, no, I can't. I can't get past the far umbra. But
Yeah.
I could help us travel a lot faster.
Yeah,
That
that's
feels
fair.
more like a Heather thing. I'm gonna let Heather have that. Heather have that.
All right.
Heather
I'm gonna
has taken like
take
pilot and stuff.
1 point of cosmology, 1 point of enigmas, 4th point of esoterica,
Nice.
3rd dot in correspondence, 3rd dot in prime, for a total of
Nice.
24 XP.
Do it.
Most of my XP.
Yes.
I got my first dot of entropy, and then I got a dot of cosmology, esoterica, and occult, and then my 5th dot in science.
Nice.
You're a sciencey.
Yeah. I'm a science bitch.
Science, hey.
Science.
Nice.
All right. Saving
All
my
right.
sheet.
So I will figure out what I'm spending my XP on later. But thank you guys so much
Yeah.
for tuning in to this episode of Zero Sum. Like Jen said, we'll be back in 2 weeks. So if you are watching this live right now, you are heroes. Or if you're watching it on like our Patreon link, thank you so much. A big thank you to our divine producer, my mom. Hi, Mom. Be seeing you in like a month and a half. Also to our demonic producer, Precarious. What's up, bud? How's it going? Looking forward to seeing you in Planescape. Over to our Wizards of the Patreon, that is Tammy, the Forever Cleric, and the Ink Goblin, who I know loves this game. And to our High Council of the Patreon, I have to thank Taryn, Buddy, Amberthist, Raven with Baubles, Karasha, Urquhart, Chef Eladeth, Larouk, Sorcerer Sanguine, and Mike Baxter. Thank you, everybody who keeps the Patreon running. Whew. Long day. Thank you for everybody who keeps the Patreon running. You guys are all amazing. We could not do this here without you. And if you're watching this later, you could have been watching this much sooner on Patreon. Why aren't you there? Join up. Just do it. Just do it. You know you want
Just
to.
do it.
Let's do it.
Because like Technocracy's probably like the season's probably over by the time you're watching this. or
It's just
or
so
like
far
working on it.
behind.
Who knows?
Maybe. Who
Yeah.
knows?
You want to find out what happens to Mateo? Go join the Patreon.
Yep.
And with that, I'm good. So good night.
Nice.
Awesome. Then thank you all, and thank you for playing, and hope everybody's backs are feeling better and whatnot soon. That'd be great.
I'm feeling pretty good
but-
reclining like this right now, which is good.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
good. That's good. I'm glad that worked for you.
All right.
But yeah, thank you so much for watching and playing, and have a great night.
Good night, everybody.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.